What's up, Ranger Nation? It's your boy Jerome, and I'm here today with a review for Power Rangers Beast Morphers. This is episode number 3, and it's titled End of the Road. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the episode. Alright, you guys, so the episode, it opened up. So we see Nate, he's at Grid Battle Force, and he is, he's working on this new thing, this weapon that he has, and the weapon was titled the Beast X Cannon. And then we see Zoe, she comes in there, and, she's asking him about this bike that she asked him to build, which was titled the X Bikes. And he said, yeah, he did build the bikes, and, everything is good with the bikes. So then we see Zoe, she's going where the mayor is. So the mayor, he is about to cut down the forest so that he can make a new roadway for cars to drive on. And like I said, Zoe, she showed up in her bike, and she's telling the mayor how instead of cutting down the forest, which would then take away from the wildlife there, that she has this the X bike, which is powered with Morphers energy, which would be sustainable, and it can be used to ride through the city, and it'll be a lot better than cars, how cars use gas and they pollute the air. So this is going to be a lot better than driving cars, destroying the ozone, hurting the earth, pollution. And then also, like I said, taken away from the wildlife that's there. So this is going to be much better. So the mayor says, you know what, we'll do it. He's going to give it a week. And then we see the news reporter there. And the news reporter, she is so proud of Zoe. She's like, maybe one day you could, run Grid Battle Force. You could even be a Power Ranger if you wanted to. And Zoe's like, oh, Mom, you're just saying that. And I'm like, what? Mom? This is cool. So, Commander Shaw is Ravi's mom. Mayor Daniels is Devin's father. And now the news reporter is Zoe's mother. How cool is that? Like, we haven't saw anything like this in years. I want to say it's been 25 years. Because over the years, we have saw, mother, son, mother, son, father, daughter. We saw those relationships, father, son. We saw those relationships, but we have not saw it to the extent that each Ranger's parents are in the show since Mighty Morphin. Because in Mighty Morphin, we knew Kimberly's mom. We knew, there was in one episode when, Rita, she transported all the parents in a different dimension. So we knew all the parents in Mighty Morphin. We knew the parents in Zeo, because we knew Tanya's mom, and we met Tanya's mom and dad. We met, who else? We met Aisha's grandmother. Who else did we meet in Mighty Morphin? Again, we knew all the Rangers' parents. So I really want to say Mighty Morphin through Zeo is the last time that we saw, the Rangers' parents. So it's pretty cool to see it at this point, like 25 years later. It's pretty cool to see that. All right, so back in the cyber dimension, we see Skrull. He's talking to Evox, and he's telling Evox that he does not have enough Morph X energy to create any Giga Drones. And he's blaming it on the avatars, which is Blaze and Roxy. So then Blaze and Roxy, they come in because they hear Skrull talking about them, and they show Evox, the footage of nothing's on there, but they show but they show Evox the footage of Mayor Daniels and Zoe talking about how the X bikes are powered by Morphex energy, and their idea is to go to Earth. Well, go to the human dimension, I guess you would say. I don't know what dimension they're going to consider that, but they're going to go to the dimension that the Rangers are in, and they're going to get the Morphex energy from the bikes to take it back, I guess, so that Skrull can create Giga Drones. I'm guessing. I thought they were trying to get Evox out of there, but I guess they're going to create Giga Drones, and they're going to also try to get Evox out of that dimension. So Evox tells Blaze and Roxy, okay, you two, your mission is to go to Earth, get me some Morphex energy, so that way we can power up these Giga Drones, and so that way I can get out of this dimension to go to the, the human realm, I guess. I don't know what we're going to call, the world, the dimension that the Rangers are currently in. So we know that this is a cyber dimension, but I guess we're just going to say Dimension Earth for now. I don't know. but we're gonna. All right, so then we see, Ravi, Devin, and Zoe. They're on their, the X bikes, and they're having a good time with it. But the people that are in the city, they're not really gravitating towards the bikes like Zoe had expected. Then we see Ben and Betty, they have a bicycle built for two, and that starts to, spark the people's interest. Like, hey, look at what those two have. Like, I would like to ride that instead of what, Zoe, Ravi, and Devin are on. So then we see, Blaze. He shows up and he siphons off some of the Blaze, the Morphex energy from one of the X bikes. And, he has that computer that Scrozzle has, and he puts one of the keys in there. And then he goes and he sticks it into that looked like one of those bicycle. I think there was a bicycle pump. So he goes stick one of the keys in there, and it turns into a Robotron. And the Robotron's name is what is his name? Needledrone. Needletron or Needledrone. I can't remember. I think it's Needletron. So like I said, they're still having a good time. And then Needletron, he scares the humans that are sitting in the city. And then like I said before, Ben and Betty, they were on their bicycle built for two. So then he starts attacking and he blasts Ben and Betty. He blasts them into the water. I'm like, it was corny, but it was funny at the same time. So I'm not gonna knock Ben and Betty. At least it's not fart jokes like what we got with Victor and Monty. So I'm not gonna complain about Ben and Betty. I think Ben and Betty are actually pretty cool. There's some times that I think Ben and Betty might not be needed, much like with Victor and Monty, but as long as we just do not have the fart jokes like with Victor and Monty, I'll be good with Ben and Betty going forward. So then we see it. It actually, if you guys follow the YouTube page, the Power Rangers YouTube page, they aired it. They premiered the morphing sequence yesterday. So the Rangers, they morph into the, they morph. I love the morphing sequence. It is so cool, really cool. Let's see what I want to say about it. I said it's cool, which it really is. I think that their morphing sequence is a lot easier because they have the keys, and they say it's morphing time. They say it's morphing time, and then they go like this: activate beast power. It's a lot easier, kids. I know I have some kids who subscribe to my channel. It's a lot easier if you guys go back and watch Power Rangers Turbo. Oh my God. It took me years to get that morphing down because it was shifting the turbo. And, the Rangers would always miss the key thing to turn it. They would always miss that. And there's another one that I think is kind of hard for me to get. I know RPMs. It took me a while to get that one. And it's just because, I can never really get Ziggy's and Dillion's. I can never really get those two, but the other one that's like a super hard one for me, which I've gotten off track, would be the Jungle Furies. Jungle Furies, I never got it. But back to the show. So, we see the Rangers, they're fighting with, did they call them Tronics? I think they did. I can't remember. But, we saw the Rangers fighting, and Ravi and Devin, they were getting, pummeled. And Zoe, we saw her, she was fighting with the monster, and then she called on the Beast X cannon, and she blasts him, and she destroyed him. And then his needle, it flew off, and it landed right in front of Blaze. So Blaze takes the needle with the Morphex energy, and he heads back to the cyber dimension. Alright, so I was incorrect. They did not actually call on the Tronics. What happened was Needletron and Blaze were fighting the Rangers, and Needletron got the best of the Rangers, and mainly Devin and Ravi, who demorphed. So everything else was the same. Zoe did, destroy Needletron, and his needle fell in front of Blaze. So then we see Zoe. She's going to talk with the mayor. She wants him to give her some time, to figure out what to do with the bike, since people were more interested in, Ben and Betty's bicycle built for two than her single bike. So the mayor tells Zoe, I'm on a deadline, either I put these, X bikes to use, or I have to build the road. So she's like, oh God, what am I going to do now? Because she doesn't have a deadline. Well, she doesn't have time to figure things out. So then we see, the Rangers with Nate and the Beast Bots. They're in the forest. they're trying to say, they're taking the wildlife, putting them in little containers to move them other places. So we see Nate. He comes up to talk to Zoe because he has a little lizard that has become his new friend. And he's talking about how he what he thinks a family is. A family takes has each other's back. And then Zoe starts to ask him about his family. He says, well, my mom and dad, they both work overseas, so they're not here. And she's like, do you have any brothers or sisters? He says, no, I don't have any brothers or sisters, and I think of the Rangers as my siblings. And so that's pretty cool. So what else? Oh, so then while they're sitting there talking, Commander Shaw, she calls them on their communicators. That's what we're going to call them because they haven't named them yet. I like theirs a lot more than the Ninja Steel Rangers because if you guys remember with Ninja Steel, theirs were really big and bulky and they had to push them for it to flip open to show who's talking to them. And with these, they just look at them and there's a person's face. Pretty freaking cool. Love it, love it, love it. So also, before Commander Shaw called them, so Nate and Zoe were going over ideas of what they can do to make people actually be interested in the X bikes, as opposed to, like I said, the bicycle built for two that Ben and Betty had. So, all right. So Blaze, he's returned back to our dimension for more Morphex energy. So we do see the Rangers. They blast the needle and destroy it. And Blaze, he tries to morph, but he's out of Morphex energy. So then he gets on one of the bikes. He starts riding through the city, and then the Rangers following suit. That scene was cool as crap. Like, I love that scene. I could watch that scene over and over and over on loop. Speaking of which, I actually, since the very first episode, I continuously watched the episodes back to back of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which I have not done. I have not watched an episode of Power Rangers on repeat in a long time because I did not do it with Ninja Steel or Super Ninja Steel. Actually, with Ninja Steel, I did it with episode 1 and 2. But after that, I watched the episode once and that was it. And Super Ninja Steel, the only episode that I watched repeat more than once was Dimensions in Danger, and that was just one episode. I hadn't really, like I said, I have not watched an episode of Power Rangers like more than once since Dino Charge. That was the last time I actually went back to back and watched an episode. And even with Dino Supercharge, I didn't do it. I watched it on a Saturday morning and that was it. So Beast Morphers is doing really good so far. I am enjoying it. Like I said before, it's giving me nostalgia feel for my childhood with Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, Wild Force, Ninja Storm, and Dino Thunder. SPD, all that. Because after SPD, Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, that's going into my adult years. So, but like I said, I'm just enjoying this show. It's really, really, really good. But back to the show. So, like I said, they're riding through and so then we see Blaze. He meets up with Roxy, and they're at where they meet up at. There are a lot of Tronics there, and they're gathering. They've gone through the city and taken some of the Morphex energy from the bikes. And Roxy tells Blaze, go back to Scrozzle and get him this Morphex energy, and she'll take care of the Rangers. So with the Morphex energy, we see Scrozzle. He has made a Gigadrone mixed with Needletron. I think the name was Needledrone. So then Needledrone, he goes to the city. And, Commander Shaw tells the Rangers that there's a monster heading toward, Beast-X Tower, or whatever they call that. Whatever they call it. I'm going to get it next week, what they call it. So then Robbie takes his Zord and he goes to, fight the monster. And that leaves Zoe and Devin to fight with Roxy. So while, Robbie is fighting with the monster does drain some of his Morphex energy from his Megazord. And he calls for backup. So then we see Devin. Devin goes, to join him, leaving just Roxy and Zoe, who calls her Laundry Girl again. So, like I said, Zoe and Roxy are left together. So Zoe, like she's fighting with Roxy, and then Roxy blasts, and Zoe's like, "You missed me." She's like, "No, I didn't." And then Zoe turns around, and she hits them. She hit one of the bikes, and the bike is sparking, and then Zoe grabs that Morphex energy and she throws it past Roxy, and Roxy's like, "Yeah, missed." And Zoe's like, "Oh no, I didn't miss." And boom goes Roxy. It was cool. I liked it. It was good. Like, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying Beast Morphers. So then we see Devin. He goes and joins Ravi, and he destroys the monster. Now, I only have one thing to say. So the Cheetah Beast Blaster, it's a blaster, right? Right? It's a blaster. Now, I don't understand how a blaster slashes with a sword. I'm just confused about that. That is confusing. Cheetah Beast Blaster, but a sword. And if they like it, I gotta love it. So, Devin destroys a monster at the end of the day. But I think that's kind of weird that a blaster slashes like a sword. Moving on. Right. So then lastly, you guys, we see Zoe. She goes back to the forest. She sees her mom. She's like, "Mom, have you saw the mayor?" And she's like, "No, I haven't saw the mayor." And Devin is like, I would tell you not to, put your hopes into my dad because, he might disappoint you. So then, we see Mayor Daniels. Mayor Daniels rides up on the bikes. And they're like, "You're on a bike?" And he's like, "Yeah, so what happened, I forgot to mention this, that when the Rangers were, following in behind Blaze on the X bikes, Zoe's mom was in a helicopter and she was recording. So Mayor Daniel shows them, the recording that from the news footage, and he was like, with the help of the Power Rangers, that's made the X bikes cool to the people of Coral Harbor. So he's ordered more bikes and he's not going to build the road. And we don't know. Do we know what Zoe's mom's name is? I don't think we know what her name is. She's just a news reporter at this point. What else? So her mom was like, you have to thank the Power Rangers because without them, the bikes wouldn't be so popular. And she's like, "Thank you, Power Rangers, whoever you are." And it gave me a feel of one episode. I can't remember which season it was. "Thank you, whoever you are." I can't remember which season. I don't know if it was In Space. It was one of the earlier seasons where the Rangers' identities were withheld. They kept their identities secret. I want to believe it was In Space. I'm gonna watch because I think it was In Space. I think it was In Space. Because that was the last time that the Rangers had their identity secret. And I believe it was In Space because the person was looking up in the sky. Oh God, this is going to bother me. But moving on. But enough of that. So I'm guessing what's going to happen is the only person who's going to know that the Power Rangers are the Power Rangers is going to be Commander Shaw. Because I don't think Mayor Daniels knows that Devin is a Ranger. And obviously Zoe's mom doesn't know that she's a Ranger. So their identities are going to be secret. Well, yeah, their identities are secret. Because if we remember from episode 1, Commander Shaw would not let Mayor Daniels see who Blaze and Roxy and Robbie were. So the Rangers' identities are going to be secret only to within Grid Battle Force, and outside people will not know who they are, which I think that's cool. We're going back to the basics of Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, and Space, where no one knew who the Rangers were. Well, even Lost Galaxy, no one knew who the Rangers were, because Commander Stan didn't know who the Rangers were, because Mike, he was missing. We don't know what the timeline is that Mike was gone, but so the Rangers' identities are secret. So then at the end of the episode, we see Ben and Betty. They return. They're on their bicycle for 2, but this time they've turned it into a unicycle, which was really funny because they did not know how to ride a unicycle. But that was it, Ranger Nation. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys. So tomorrow is the premiere of Ryu Soldier. So I don't know how the uploads work, but whenever your upload goes up, I'm gonna watch the episode, the English upload that is with the subtitles. I'm going to watch it and I'm going to review it. So if it comes up late on Sunday night, then I will review it and it'll be up on Sunday night. Well, actually, it won't be up on Sunday night. It'll probably be up on early Monday morning because I already have 2 other videos that I do on Sunday. I watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta and I watched Married to Medicine Los Angeles. So I probably won't have it up until sometime, it'll either be Monday morning or Monday night. But until then, Ranger Nation, and I will see you guys later.